What is going on, y'all? Chuck Nunface here. We are going to do a disassembly video, and we are going to put some skiff bearings into this knife right here, the Medford Midi Marauder. Oh, I'm sorry, strike that. Slim Midi, not the Midi Marauder. The Midi Marauder is a little bit different, a little thicker all around. This is indeed the Slim Midi. So we'll go ahead, we'll take it apart, we'll see what's going on inside, and we'll go ahead and put these skiff bearings in here, which I actually had on a different Midi, Slim Midi. I think I'm just going to keep saying Midi Marauder. I've actually done a video like this before in the past. If you go back a few years, 3 years, something like that, I've done this video. These actual bearings were in a different Slim Midi that I had, but we'll go ahead. I did get a couple of requests based on the overview video of this that I first did to go ahead and do the bearing swap on that. So those are the rings, the sizes. If you want to do this on your knife, you'll need to get these right here. The inner diameter of 0.189, the outer of 0.370, and the thickness of 0.05, 50 thousandths. So that's what you would need right there. 3/16 pivot, 1/16 inch balls. In any case, real quick also, I will go ahead and I will link this in the description. But I put it up on my Instagram earlier today as well. My brother, he's been fighting cancer for about 8 years now, and they do have a GoFundMe up for him to kind of cover and defray some of the costs because he's had some pretty serious radiation therapy recently, and you know, there's just things. The insurance doesn't cover everything, and things can tend to get caught up or they fall behind a little bit. With everything that's going on. So my brother's been fighting that for about 8 years now. So I'll go ahead and link that GoFundMe in the description of this video. If you can donate anything, awesome. If you can't, not a problem. You know, maybe you can share it out there if you've got, you know, put it out there on your socials, put the link out there. Just kind of get the message out, say a prayer or something like that. Anything like that helps a lot. But I will go ahead and link that in the description. And if you can help in any way, that's fantastic. I certainly would appreciate it. But yeah, let's go ahead and go right into this. You're going to need a T30, I think. Yeah. 20? No, 20 is a little loose. I think I'd do a 30 on this one. So the pivot's pretty honking. So we'll do a T30. Just open that up right there. I am using the tray, part of the modular tray from It Isn't Dan, that he made and gifted to me. So you can go find him on Instagram at It Isn't Dan. He made these tokens as well, these coins right there. So really cool stuff. That's a sticker right there too. So I don't think I have a T25. Maybe it's a T25, but I don't even think I have one of those. So, I mean, a T30 works. I could probably make a T20 work, but in any case. And then this one right here, the body screws, what are they? Let's go ahead and put these here. I guess we can put that there so we know where it is. The body screws, I think, are 6s. They're pretty small. Here's a 6. Is a 6 it? Maybe it's, I don't think it's an 8. That's a 10. Where's my 8? I think 8's big. Yeah, it's definitely not an 8. I think it's a 6. Interest 7. No, 6. All right, so we'll undo these body screws as well. They're all coming off with no issue. Now these body screws are aftermarket, but they are from Medford. The guy who I traded this knife for, he had them. I guess he stripped one of the screws out, his original screws, which are all just tumbled. And so these are flamed. They're pretty cool. This knife's been modified. It's been orange peeled, pretty good orange peel, and re-anodized. There we go. Get those in there. Yep, it came right off. All right, so we got those races right there. So now I think I'll get some paper towel. Put those race washers. Get this knife blade out of there. Get that old bearing out of there. I don't remember if those come out, if that's just a pivot. So yeah, the old washers, I mean, this knife's working just fine. It really doesn't necessarily need it, but that's the old ones. And you can kind of see the difference with Skiffs. If I can get one out here. So you can see the real difference is, instead of being a stamped, folded over piece of steel, it's cut out of phosphor bronze, so it's going to be higher quality. So that's that folded over stamped steel. Steel ball bearings, and these are cut phosphor bronze, and those are going to be ceramic in there as well. So they're a higher quality bearing, certainly, than the stock. Get that other one out. Subscribe to the channel. Certainly would appreciate that. It definitely helps out. Those of you who are new, if this is your first time watching my channel, consider subscribing. I certainly would appreciate it. And if you're a returning viewer, definitely want you to subscribe if you could. That would be very helpful. Well, like 80% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if 80%, like, that's a big number. So if even half of those people who aren't subscribed would subscribe to the channel, that would be huge. Well, since we've got it opened up, I guess we can go ahead and take a look too at the serial numbers. So yeah, it's all matching on these. So Medford used to match serial numbers with blades and scales. And it is going to be on the same on this. So they used to get everything etched the same, 103-106, and the same on the blade, 103-106. They don't really do that anymore. They might still occasionally, but they don't do that anymore. They just kind of grab from a parts bin, and whatever works. They just kind of put it in there. So they don't match all the serial numbers and all the parts anymore like they used to, which is, kind of wish they would. I think it would be cool if they did, but they're not doing it. As long as the knives work right, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter to me. So I'm doing now, I just got rubbing alcohol. I'm just cleaning everything off. Real quick, just a refresher, because like I say, I've gone over this many times, but you know, it might be your first time watching one of my videos. So 103-108. So the 1 stands for, it's the second digit, the last digit of the year. So this would be a 2021 model. 03 would be March. So it would be March of 2021. So that makes this a 4-year-old knife. And the 108 is just going to be, it was number 108 of the run. So yeah, that's done. So yeah, this is pretty simple. We're just going to go ahead and drop these skiffs in. Use a little bit of this McMurdy's EDC oil. Just a little bit on there and a little bit on the pivot itself. We'll go ahead and, oh yeah, this is what I've talked about as well. That's how they do the pocket clips. They're fasteners. So they just kind of drill them in there, and instead of having them affixed directly to the titanium scale, they use a nut right there. So they put a nut in there and they just thread it right into the hardened steel nut, as opposed to drilling and tapping and having it go into the weaker titanium. They have it go into that hardened steel nut. So I like that. I mean, I know there's other ways to do it that are maybe more elegant, but I like that solution. I think it works pretty well. I think I got a little more grit in that blade that I want to get out. Yeah, that should be good. So we'll go ahead and drop this blade back on. Yeah, that looks good. And we'll go ahead and add a little bit of the McMurdy's in there. We'll drop that washer, that bearing in there. And then I guess we still need the race. We'll go ahead and we'll put that race in there right there. I may need to put it on top. Go ahead and put it right there, and then we'll pop this bad boy back on there, that scale. And then we'll button her up. So like I say, this knife was really nicely broken in. It's not new, and I am I'm far removed from the first owner. I'm probably, I don't know. I'm at minimum the second owner, but I think I'm more than that. I'm at least the third, I think, owner on this knife. Switch that up. Put one here and one here. Tighten these up. I'm not going to Loctite anything right now. Probably just kind of mess around with it for a couple of days. I don't think this is even going to need to be Loctited. But if I do, I'll go ahead and do that. You know, honestly, it is a little bit smoother. Let me get it tightened now before I make a final decision, but it is a little bit smoother. This is a 27. No blade play at all. Smooth as glass. Yeah. Like I say, it didn't absolutely need it, but it is noticeably improved. It's smoother. You can feel it more than you can see it. Because with these other types, these, you know, and no fault to Medford for using these, they're just cheaper. You probably get some from TI Connector or something like that. They're just cheaper bearings. I mean, a lot of companies use bearings like this. You can feel them moving more. It's almost like a vibration that you can feel through the scale, and you can't feel it at all now. It's super smooth. So yeah, I think that is an improvement. If I do sell this knife, that's the big question, is am I gonna include the skiffs, or am I gonna take them out again and be greedy? I don't know, we'll see. One thing I do want to do, I did notice that that might be a little bit loose, and I don't know if a 6 is too big. Nope, the 6 isn't. I can make a 6 work. Actually, I think I just fixed it, but this is the, obviously the lock bar stabilizer, and I'm going to snug that down a little bit because I don't want that falling out. Ooh, that's right. Now I remember. These tighten up the action when you tighten them down. I forgot about that. So I probably will. I forgot about that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this out, and I am going to Loctite this right now. Interesting. I forgot about that. That just brought me back. Because the LBS on these actually does affect the action. If you tighten it way down, it will make the action stiffer. And I had forgotten about that. And I want it the way it is right now. And I can leave the LBS off. That's not a big deal. But I don't want to. I want to have it on there. So let me grab my Loctite. We're going to go ahead and put a little Loctite on that. But I'm going to clean this first. I forgot about that. Huh, interesting. The things you remember and the things you find out when you're doing a video. Let me clean that. Make sure it's relatively grit-free. Problem is I really need a Loctite stick. Because this stuff just gets everywhere, this liquid. It's like way too much, but I can dab it off. That should be good. So I'm going to bring it all the way down so that way I'm sure that I get Loctite on all the threads. And then I'm going to back it up a little bit. That's good. Can I go a little tighter? Maybe a little looser. back off. I think that's good. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. Yep, I forgot about that. This, if you tighten that LBS down, it will affect it. It tightens, it adds pressure onto this lock bar. I don't know if that's a flaw or not in the design. I think it kind of is, because what should probably be is you should be able to cinch that all the way down. They need a deeper relief cut in. You either need a shallower LBS, like a thinner one, or they need a deeper relief cut in the lock bar itself. Right there where that LBS goes. I think they need a deeper relief cut on that. So yeah, I actually do think that's a flaw in the design, but whatever. I mean, it's not major. Like I say, you don't even need it on there in order for the knife to operate. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, go ahead, and that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you found it entertaining and informative. I remembered something. I think I'd forgotten some stuff about this knife. Yeah, Skiff upgrade on the Medford Slim Midi. Hope you enjoyed it. Check out that link that I'm going to put in the description of this video. I'll leave the link in the description for as long as that GoFundMe is up, and at least that long. And yeah, if you can help out, fantastic. If you can't, maybe you can just share it out there. Say a prayer. I would appreciate that. In any case, that's going to do it for me. Y'all stay tuned for the next one. Peace.